And welcome back to my second channel in the new year. This is the first video that I'm going to be making on this channel, and I thought I would kick things off by talking about conformal coating, aka waterproofing, aka snowproofing your mini quad. In my vlog, as I've been flying in the winter and crashing in the snow, I've been getting questions about what I've been doing to waterproof my gear. And the truth is, this season I actually haven't done anything. I've been crashing and then unplugging the battery, waiting for the drone to dry off, and then plugging it back in with my fingers crossed. And so far, honestly, everything has been fine. But the problem is with this approach is if you're out flying and you crash in the snow, now you have to wait overnight until you should really feel comfortable plugging it back in. So I do want to do some snowproofing on this, so now when I crash in the snow I can pick it up, blow off the snow, and keep flying. And we are going to be using conformal coating. So in this video I'm going to walk you through everything that I'm going to do to this thing to hopefully make it stand up to the snow. We're just gonna open this guy up for a little bit of work. Okay, we've got the top plate off and the ESC covers removed, but we still don't quite have access to all the circuit boards because there's heat shrink on the ESCs, there's a cover on the receiver, and the camera is in the case. We will come back to the camera, but for now we're going to get the receiver out of its covering and cut the heat shrink off of the ESCs. Everything is uncovered. I unplugged the camera and got it out of the way. So the next step is going to be cleaning. Like I said, I've just been crashing this thing in the snow, so there is definitely like dirt and buildup and like salt. I think this is road salt on some of the components. So I want to get the circuit boards nice and clean so that the coating I apply to it adheres and doesn't actually seal in stuff that I don't want to be there. So what I like to use for cleaning circuit boards is isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush. You can just put the alcohol on the circuit board. It's nice if you have a little spray bottle, you can spritz it on there, or just kind of like try to get a few drops, and then use the toothbrush to agitate the debris and any surface corrosion you might have and kind of wipe it off of the component. Also, I realized that my flight board has rubber grommets in the corner holes to provide vibration isolation, but that kind of gets in the way of this coating, so I had to take these out. As you're cleaning, just be a little gentle. You want to scrub so that you can get all this gunk out. You just don't want to damage any of the components on the board itself. And get those ESCs. Make sure to get both sides. I'm getting the underside of the ESC here. Now to get the underside of the flight board itself, I've removed the screws from two of the motors, and now we're just gonna flip it over. Scrub, 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 scrub. While you've got the frame kind of bare like this, it'd be a good time to get a wet paper towel and actually clean off your carbon fiber if your frame is as dirty as mine is. And with everything cleaned up, it is time to actually apply the coating. We're using a silicone-based conformal coating. Last year I did a vlog where I tried an acrylic-based conformal coating and had so-so results, and a lot of people commented that the silicone-based stuff works a lot better, so we're trying that this time. Anyway, it comes in a bottle with a little brush in the lid, so you can just brush it right on. You'll notice on the flight board I have a USB cable plugged in, and that's to prevent the coating from getting inside the connector and preventing me from being able to connect my flight board to my computer for future configuration changes. With the bottom of the flight controller down, we're just going to hit the bottom of the ESCs. We're just getting the undersides of all these components while this whole mess is flipped open like this, and then we'll actually let it dry for a bit before flipping it over again to return to the top. While we wait for the undersides of the flight controller and the ESCs to dry a bit, let's get the receiver. I didn't get a good shot of it, but you'll notice that there is a second connector with nothing plugged in. I never used this connector, so I actually intentionally put coating into the connector to cover those pins. And for the camera, we are just unscrewing the back plate of the camera case. We can pull out the circuit board and coat it just like everything else, but be careful not to get any coating on the image sensor itself. After the coating that we applied to the undersides of all the components is dried for like an hour or two, we can flip this entire mess back onto the frame, and now we can start getting the top sides of everything. Once you've got both sides covered, I would really let everything finish drying and curing for like 12 hours or more before you do final reassembly and actually take it out to fly. And we have our quad fully reassembled and ready to fly. Now if you came here from my main vlog, you might be wondering why this video was kind of delayed. Well, there's two things. One, I'm feeling kind of sick, so I've been taking it a little bit easy. But also, as you saw in the vlog where I flew this, I didn't have the best results. All the conformal coating that I didn't really provide me with waterproofedness. I had a few problems after crashing in the snow. So I wanted to take some time to let the comments roll in and see what people had to criticize about this and that and the other thing. And of course, there's plenty of advice rolling in. So some things that you can do, well actually something I did do that I didn't mention is doing multiple coats. I did do 2 coats on everything. So maybe you can do 3, I don't know. Another great piece of advice that I received was use a black light to look for places that you may have missed on the circuit boards. I didn't do that. I don't have a black light. Maybe I should get one of those if I really want to try and make this work. And one more useful tip that I saw was make sure to get the back of the connectors with conformal coating and or Corrosion X. So between everything I tried last year and doing all this stuff, my takeaway is that it just takes some finicking to get right. It takes a fair amount of effort to make sure that everything is 100% coated and going to be reliable. And then even then, once you crash in the snow, it could kind of rub off some of the coating. So I just don't believe that there is 100% foolproof way to get this stuff waterproof. Now, yes, I've seen the videos where people are straight up flying their quads underwater because they've done such a good job waterproofing. It's just outside of my capabilities apparently. So if you've had better luck, please continue to leave your tips for how you've gotten better waterproofing. But I would say it does help. It's a little bit of added insurance. As long as I'm going to be flying in the winter, I'll probably do conformal coating because it doesn't hurt anything. So I'm a fan of it still. It just doesn't actually give me as good of results as I would hope. As far as maintaining a quad with conformal coating, if you have to do any work after you've done the coating, you can usually burn right through that coating with a hot soldering iron. So you can just use your soldering iron, burn right through the coating, do whatever work you need to do, and then just reapply the coating over your new solder point. So it is an extra step when doing work on this stuff, but it's not that big of a deal, and it does provide a little bit of extra protection, even if not 100%. So thanks for checking this out. Happy winter flying. Don't let the snow stop you from getting out, flying, doing what you enjoy, all that good stuff. I will see you next time.